Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Welcome back. We are so excited that you're here. And today we're going to continue recording a series that we've been doing um, on relationship. And tonight, I mean, every podcast, every episode that we do, I think is always amazing. I'm excited for what we're going to talk about tonight. And so I'm so glad you're here. Make sure you share, make sure you comment, you like tonight. Tonight we have some giveaways and we'll be talking about that. So get ready with your listening ears and comment, share, like, and we are going to give a giveaway tonight. So if you want to participate that, and I'll go ahead and repeat it, you need to make sure that you comment, that you share, that you follow us, that you follow me on YouTube, Maria and Friends. And as soon as you start commenting and we see your name, Ulises is going to write your name and he's going to put it in a little bag. And at the end of this podcast, we'll pick three winners. And those three winners, uh, they'll get the choice of prizes. And let me tell you a little bit about those. So before we go on, just make sure, I want to make sure I'm looking at the comments already. People are already, Maggie, hello. So stick around because the giveaways are the following. Number one, for the giveaway, you're gonna get the choices of either an ebook, one of the ebooks that I wrote, and I have several of them that I wrote. We have Breaking Soul Ties, we have Gratefulness coming up in Thanksgiving. I have a Facebook checklist when you go live on Facebook, what you need. Also, 10 ways to empower your cancer journey in English and Spanish, and how to start your podcast, and a couple of more. So, those ebooks are available. You get to choose one of those. Another option, Ulises has a book that he wrote, and he'll talk to you a little bit about that. And also a coaching call. You can have a coaching call with me or with Ulises. And in that coaching call, we can talk about podcasting, we can talk about social media, we can talk about personal development. We can talk about those things. You can also have a coaching call with Mr. Ulises in regards to personal growth, ministry, and different things like that. And one another option, which is I think is exciting, you can win a dinner with Ulises and I over Zoom, and we will pay for your takeout or your dinner, and we will go in the Zoom room and we will have a chat. So for about an hour, Ulises and I will have dinner with you, and we'll talk about personal growth or any topic that you want to talk about that we have discussed here, and we'll share. We'll share a meal. So I'm gonna go ahead and present to you our guests, but before that, let me give you the introduction. And I already see names, so make sure that you say hi, you say hello, because as soon as I see your name, we will draw you. We will write your name. We'll write your name in a little piece of paper and throw it. And so for the drawing at the end, so you have to stay all the way to the end. So let me go ahead and get it started here. So here we go. Welcome back to another episode of Mighty and Friends. Today, I am thrilled to introduce once again a truly insightful guest, Mr. Ulises Vargas. Many of you might remember him from previous conversations, and it's always a joy to have him back. Ulises is a published author and has dedicated over 20 years to ministry, bringing a wealth of experience and knowledge to the table. And he offers a unique perspective, a male perspective, on some of the things that we talk about. So I just want to, before we go on, I just want to make sure one thing very clear. I'm not an expert. We're not experts. We're simply here to share what has worked for us and hopefully inspire you along the way. So if you're ready to explore new perspective, learn from personal experiences, and uncover some tips that might help you, that will enhance your journey, then stick around and let's begin the conversation. And today's topic is the anti-love languages, which is the five languages of love. So, and here we are, Mr. Ulises. Hello.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? How's everybody? Maria, how are you doing
I'm
tonight?
doing good. I'm doing good. Hey, before we go on, we already have some people that you need to write their names down that they
I
already
got,
said hello. So let me know. You
already
got
got
them?
it. Already
You
got
got
it.
who do you got there?
Got
Who
it.
do you got there? Do a
We
shout out.
got.
Who do you have
We
there?
got. Well, appreciate Maggie, Gianna,
Yeah.
and Annette for chiming in. In case you did miss it, Maria was talking about it being able to come into this little giveaway that we are doing. You're gonna have to comment. Please comment, and you're gonna have to share this live podcast as well. And Maria has a YouTube page. Maria, go ahead and share what your YouTube page is.
It's Maria and Friends. Simple as that. Maria Travieso, Maria and Friends. That you can go to the link in the bio and you can directly go to all my social media there. Yep, we're there. Did you get Gina? Did you get Gina? I'm not so sure if
I
you
did.
you
I
did.
did.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So
Mhm.
let's get into it. We're going to be talking about the love languages. And I'm very excited about this one. This is going to be kind of fun. So I'm going to go ahead, Ulises, and let you start the conversation with the first one.
So Maria and I were talking as we were setting up these podcasts, and we know. Listen, like anybody who's listened to at least two relationship podcasts, the five love languages are always going to be part of it. So what we decided to do was to put a little spin to the five love languages, and we call it the five anti love languages, because we hear physical touch, words of affirmation, gifts, and things, and and the other two. But it's like, okay, we talk about those, but what are the opposites of those things? And if we can recognize what the opposites are, then it can help us to find a good relationship. Like, listen, like if we go ahead and start off with words of affirmation. Words of affirmation. What does words of affirmation mean to you, and what is the opposite of affirmation to you? Right? Because everybody has their experiences, everybody has their take, when it comes to affirmation. Like for me, and I'll start off, words of affirmation. Oh, it's like, hey, positive, hey, what you're doing is great. You are amazing. You are great. You are a blessing. You're this and you're that. Opposite is not the constructive criticism, but the bad criticism. Why you always messing up? Oh, you're so stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so this. Oh, you're so that for me will be an opposite. Like when we talk about affirmation, when we talk about the anti love language of affirmation, what does that mean to you as a listener? Maria, what does that mean to you when somebody says, hey, okay, words of affirmation may be your love language, but what is it that you don't want to hear if you're going to be pursuing or trying to get to know somebody?
To me, the opposite of, because that's just real quick, for those who don't know, if you've never heard what we're talking about, we're referring to Dr. Gary Chapman's book, The Five Love Languages, that was published first in 1992, and his five love languages, and that's what we're going to be discussing, which is words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. So the first one that Ulises is talking about, which is words of affirmation. What is the opposite of that? That would be, like you said, criticism. And I'm looking at my notes, in silence. To me, if it's important to hear you say that you love me, that what I'm doing is good, that you like the way I cook, that my partner likes the way I decorate the house, that they like the way I smell, I comb my hair, I for whatever reason. And if to me it's important that you tell me with words how much you love me, and you start criticizing me and telling me, oh, you're always doing this, or you're always talking too much, or you're always this and you're always that, or you don't say nothing at all, and you withdraw, and you don't tell me that you love me, that you care, that I clean the whole house, and don't say that, that
Mm.
you don't go months and months without telling me that you love me, that you appreciate me, that you're glad I'm in your life, and you go months and weeks without a kind word, without a soft word, with all that, to me would hurt me if that was one of my love languages. Like, we all love all the love languages, but everybody has like a top preference. If that was mine and you treat me with a lot of silence, that's gonna hurt.
I would do. There was this one husband. that I was counseling some years ago, and Lord, he needed some work. He needed some work and a lot of Jesus. And this is what he actually said, which it hurt me more than it bothered me, right? Because he said, "Well, I paid the bills. That's how I tell my wife that I love her." And it's like, okay, cool, you pay the bills, but that's not what your wife needs. What is it that you like? When it comes, especially man, when it comes to marriage, like if if for those who are married, they know that it's a selfless job. Like to really be successful in a relationship, you have to be selfless. Humility.
Absolutely.
I will preach it to the end of time. If you do
Absolutely.
not have humility in a relationship, it will not work.
Absolutely.
Period. Point blank. I'm big on servant leadership. Like that's
Yes,
when I'm at my job, that's how I operate. I can show you better than I can tell you.
exactly.
Right. So I take that same mindset into relationships. It's like I have to express it. I have to be an example of what that is. And so it's like if my partner, if my spouse is saying, "Hey, I need you to tell me this," then it's my job, even if it makes me uncomfortable, to be able to tell you, "I love you. You're amazing. You're this. You're that." It's pride, and I love what Jana said. But hey, so it is an old school mentality, because it's the whole aspect of, well, I'm a man. This is how I love. And it's like, cool, if this is how you love, that's great, but you're not by yourself. You
Amen.
you can't love you better than you love it. So it's like, if I have a problem with serving my wife, then we got to have a discussion on what love means to you. What does love truly mean to you? And we had that conversation. Thank God it took a little while, but there was a breakthrough for sure. Where it's like, hey, like if if the scripture said, husbands, love your wives the way that Christ loved the church,
Ooh, right there.
right?
Right there.
And see, and that's where everybody stops.
Yeah.
And that's great. But
Hmm.
what else does it say? That
Yeah.
he became a sacrifice.
Yes.
And that's where men, for whatever reason, they stop. I'm loving my wife the way Christ loved the church. Oh, then what sacrifices have you made, bro? What are you talking about? Did you not read the second half where it says, "Become that sacrifice," and that he watered the church with his word, like he washed the church with his word. He's supposed to wash your wife with the word. Like, are you doing these
Wow.
things?
Yeah.
Like, it's a form of humility, a form of sacrifice. Are you being that?
Yeah.
And if you're not being that, then are you truly loving your wife the way that Christ did?
Mm.
It's a self reflection. Again, if you do not have men, any men who's listening, wives, let your husbands know, girlfriends, let your boyfriends know. If you want to marry me, or if you want to stay married, I'm saying, now not the whole aspect of stay married,
No,
but
no, no. Don't give me
please
count.
stay married. Please stay married.
Yes.
Watch last week's episode to find
Yes.
out why you should stay. If you're married, stay married. But husbands, please listen to what God is saying. Not,
Yes.
not, not what Ulysses is saying, but what the scripture is saying. Wash your wife with the word. You have to be that sacrifice. You have to be please, if
Yeah.
you do not understand humility, ask God to teach you what humility is. And I promise you, He's going to. He's going to. And so it's like, so that words of affirmation or whatever the love language is, you I have to love her. And this is what I tell people.
Mhm. 'Cause. Mhm. 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 Mhm.
I'm going to love you the way your Father does.
Mm.
If God loves you like this, then I'm asking God to teach me how to love you like that. And that takes humility. It takes a process because what I'm comfortable with may not be what you need. Like in a perfect world, we will marry the same personality. It might be a boring relationship, but hey,
Yeah.
it'll be easy to love you if if I'm comfortable with how I'm loving you, right?
Yeah.
But God, as they say, opposites attract.
Hmm.
If you're the quiet person, you always seem to marry the outgoing person. The one person's always cold, the other ones are always hot. Like it's just the nature of what we deal with. But at the end of the day, humility humility will. I've seen humility save marriages. I've
It
seen it,
does.
and
It does.
so yeah, so that's my 2 cents on that one right there. But sorry, I got a little tangent, but
No, I actually have a follow-up question because we're going to be talking about these five ways that we can love in an emotional level. But I want to go back to the first question because not to the first question, but I want to go back to the point that we're talking about showing love to someone that we're in a relationship with. So my question to you would be, how much of these five languages do I need to be showing you if I'm only dating you? Because when you're married, I mean, like I always say, if you're married, you got to go 100%. Like you said, if we can't be selfish. I mean, you want to know how selfish you are? Get married. You want to know how selfish you are? Get married. You'll find out. That's what that's what a friend told me. So
that's good. That's
that's
good.
true. She told me it's not mine. I mean, a friend told me that. If you want to know how selfish you are, get married. You'll find out. So my question to you is, if when people are dating, how much of this love do we need to show? Because when you're married, obviously you're going to go 100%. But if you're dating,
Hmm.
it's a
That's
different. I
it
mean,
is.
it's or is that something, or is that something? For in my case, this is my opinion. I'm not a professional. I'm just my opinion. That's where you start getting to know the person. And as you start dating the person and getting to know the person and time goes on, I think that they almost, I would say, for lack of a better word, they would earn the right for you to start loving them at a different level. I don't know.
Mm. No, no, it's
'Cause,
good because
I mean, you don't want to give
but
them, you don't want to give them all of you because if the case doesn't work, but either you don't want to withhold either because then they don't get to know the real you. So, it's kind of like a when do you go all in, or as time goes on, God gives you the wisdom and you kind of like, okay, let me show you a little bit more, or because obviously if you're dating, I'm gonna buy. Let's say the guy, if gifts was my thing, I'm sure that while we're dating, he's gonna buy me flowers. Then once we're married, I would hope he'd buy groceries. He'd buy me, I don't know, a washer dryer, so it really depends on the where you're at in the relationship. So
or 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 that they will actually continue what they did to get you, right?
yeah,
So but in in my opinion, I feel like, especially in this day and age, that a conversation should be had. Like, okay, if we're dating, I should express to you, I should be willing, at least honestly, hopefully honestly, willing to express to you what my intentions are. My intentions are to marry, right? And so hopefully if both visions are aligned, then that's a good place. Like, hey, well, you know what? I'm not really trying to marry right now. I'm I'm just trying to see if we can make it past the first 3 weeks.
hmm,
Okay, cool. Then it is what it is. But make make your declare, as they say, declare what your intentions are, and let the chips fall where they may. And that's hey, this is my intentions. What are yours? Well, these are my intentions too. Okay, cool. Now we have a goal that we can kind of align ourselves with, and then Take it a month at a time. Take it 3 weeks at a, whatever that goal is,
Yeah.
and then being able to come to a place of like, hey, this is my character. This is who I am. I'm, unfiltered, whatever the case is. And then it's like, okay, cool. You know what? I like that. I like that, and so that bond grows, and that hopefully that love will continue to grow. But I will say to anybody, don't be afraid to make your intentions clear from the beginning. Honest, just be honest about it. I don't care how fine she may be or he may be. If y'all's goals don't align, you're just wasting time at that point. You're
Absolutely.
wasting time. You're
I
wasting
I
time.
like I like the saying that says clarity is kindness. Clarity is kindness. When you are clear about who you are, what you want, and where you're going, that's the kindest thing to do. So, yeah, so we already talked about words of affirmation. Give me an example of a good word of affirmation.
A good example. Oh man, a good example would be, I'm very proud of the person that you are.
Oh, it's good. That's good. That's good. Words of affirmation for me would be I really appreciate the time that you took to make this dinner, that you did not make macaroni from a box, which I've learned is a sin. Did you? I've learned it's a sin to make macaroni from a box.
Who told you that? Who told you that? Look, I,
Macaroni
I'm
from a
I'm
box.
I'm grateful for macaroni. Period. You know.
So it's a sin. So I'm grateful for how safe you make me feel. I'm grateful for the home that you provided. I'm grateful for every day you wake up and go to work and don't complain. I'm grateful that you come to family dinners with me and you sit with my family knowing that they'll talk behind your back, but you still I'm grateful for the sacrifice you do for this family. That's words of affirmation. You mean the world to me, and thank you for showing up every day. Thank you for letting me know that you love me, that you love my kids, a family. That's words of affirmation. So, which one do you want to talk about next, sir?
So before we do, I do want to pose a question to you and to the audience for those who are willing to answer.
Okay, what's the question?
Maria, for you, in your opinion, do you feel like people who relate or who call, say, words of affirmation as one of their top love languages, right? Do you feel like it's because it's something that they felt like they were lacking growing up, which is called,
Absolutely. 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 The way, oh yeah, I have seen in what I little I've known in my life that people's love language is directly related to their parents, how their parents love them. And what they were missing from their parents that they did not get, usually they tend to have that love language. So, and for me, can I be transparent?
mm-hmm.
One of my love languages, and we've talked about this, is quality time. For me, quality time, and when I mean, and we'll talk about quality time, because it's
Do it,
not time
do it.
as is not quality time like the amount of time. It could be 5 minutes, but with your undivided attention. To me, that's key because as I was growing up, my dad being a pastor, he was always busy. He was always busy. He was always busy, always busy. So time with him was always shared.
Mm,
Time with him was always, what is it that you need so I can solve it? Because I got five people waiting on me to go take care of them. What is it that you need? Let me do it quick. Let me, and I always felt rushed through the time that he was with us because there was always in the back somebody who needed them, somebody who needed prayer, somebody that needed a problem solved, somebody that needed a ride, somebody, whatever it was. So to me, um, I've always felt like I wanted quality time, just that one-on-one time. And even in the same side on my mom, the same thing. She wasn't always there because there was so many issues mentally going on with her, and there's so many things that were going on. I never felt her undivided attention. And to me, that's one of the things that really drew me to the father of my children, because he gave me that. And that was a blessing in my life the whole time, because when it was, even if he gave me 2 minutes, I always felt 2 minutes you, like I didn't share for 2 minutes. Those 2 minutes, it was just me and him. Then after that, I mean, I could see him in 3 weeks. No, just kidding. But but I'm saying that the time. So that is my answer to your question, which is very good question, actually. Very good
So
question.
so let me do a follow up question to that then. Do you feel like when people say, "Hey, this is my love language," do you feel like people try to give to their partner what they did not receive? So if you're talking about quality time, is that one of your like, oh man, I want to give the person that I'm interested in, or I want dating, or I want to give them quality time because that's what I lacked.
Well, it's different for me because it's different for me because I have a grasp on what of the five languages are. So I tend to study the person and find out, or even ask them, "Hey, what's your quality? What's your love language?" So I usually ask them, or I try to study them, so I can do that. If But there are people that don't ask, and there's people that don't know. So if quality time to them is the most important thing, so that's how they show love to another person, not understanding that it's not your love language, that you have to find out what their love language is. I mean, just because I like grapes, that don't mean everybody likes grapes. And I'm handing out grapes to everybody. Hey, you want a grape? Hey, and I'm like, hey, did you even ask me if I'm probably allergic to grapes? But no, because I like grapes. Okay, everybody get a grape. Everybody, no, no. And in my case, because I know, I try to figure out what the person's love language is, and I try to adapt, and I try to, do that. But if you don't know, then you definitely give the way you give love the way you would like to receive it.
Awesome, awesome. So speaking of quality time,
Okay, let's go
um,
to. Do you want to go into that one?
let's do that one.
That's my favorite one.
So what does quality time mean to you?
Your total be present. Being present to me. Quality time is being present. Whether we're on a phone call, whether we're sitting down having coffee, whether we're in the kitchen and you give in, and I say you and I mean you, but let
Mm,
my partner, um he's in a hurry, but he takes 1 minute and look straight in my eye and say, "I love you. We're good. See you in the afternoon. Okay, bye." Give your kids a hug, you know. But to me, you will lose me like that. I mean, you will lose me immediately if I'm on a date with somebody and they're talking on. Ooh, Lord. I mean,
if the
I
if
will forgive you if you don't pay the dinner, but I will not forgive you if you are on the phone while you're on a date with me. I will
mm,
pay for dinner. And won't complain. I'll pay for dinner, won't complain. But if you do this, uh huh, yeah, uh huh, yeah, uh-huh, the whole time, I understand that some of us are busy, and I understand some people are like, they can't live without you. I get that. That's okay. But when I'm on a date, I promise you, I have my phone in my purse the whole time. I will, even if I feel that like I'm like, well, it might be my son or daughter. Well, yeah, my daughter, me, my son. I'll even ask, do you mind if I answer the phone? I'll ask. If the person tells me no, okay, I won't. If usually people say sure because they're nice, people are
yeah,
like,
yeah.
sure, sure, go ahead, answer. But
Mm,
I asked permission. That's respect. But no, or like, or they're talking to you and going like this, looking behind you, or you're talking to somebody and they're like, I'm like,
looking
no, you,
around,
you just go on, go on, just like. Mm-mm. But and again, it's not the quantity. I don't need you to sit with me 3 hours. I don't need you to sit with me because I probably fall asleep. I probably lose. And Annette says, "Wow, yes, that's true. What is true, Annette? What part is true? but because me and Elise have been talking. So, but to me is the quality, that word, that you are present, that you look into my eyes for a second, that if we're talking, you listened, then go about your way. Don't like honestly, don't bring me flowers, don't bring me cake, don't bring me a Louis Vuitton, don't bring me none of that Prada purse. No, 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 no. Just come and hold my face and look at me for 2 seconds and walk away. That you made my day. You made my day. Oh, and
Mm.
Annette said on the phone on a date. Oh yeah, she says that's very true. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, no, it's and you see it all the time. You know, like sometimes I'll be out and about, and I see a couple. Both of them be on their phone. You know, and it's like they're eating their fries while they're on the phone, and it's like, okay, what's the purpose of y'all sitting here together? You know, like what's really the purpose? You know, um, but so what is the opposite of quality time for you?
Distraction. Like I said, talking to me, but your mind somewhere else.
Hmm.
Absence, total absence, total absence. Like I don't like we're supposed to be dating or we're supposed to be, getting to each other, but I don't hear from you in a week. I don't hear from you in 3 or 4 days. I mean, obviously we all get busy, so if you don't hear you for one day or 2 days, I'm good. But let's say 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, I'm like, where are you? You're alive? You died? You got ran over? What happened? I mean, if I really matter in your life, at least say hello or you know
Hmm.
whatever. It takes 2 seconds. I mean, it takes 2 seconds to um. Hold on, so many comments here. It takes 2 seconds. Look, I can time you. Hey Maria, this is I don't know. Sergio, I just want to tell you to have a good day. Bye. Doom. How long did that take? Probably not
5
even
seconds. Hmm.
5 seconds.
Yep.
And those 5 seconds gave me the peace that will last me 2 or 3 days. I heard your voice. You said my name, and it's quality time. You're specific. That's it.
That's
That's
good.
it. That's it.
That's good. And I think like for me, and you definitely hit it home. Um, the anti love language for quality time for me is quantity time, because again, like as you said, you can literally be next to me and be completely absent. You're on your phone, you're busy doing other things. You can't even look my way because you're so engulfed with whatever it is that you're doing, that we're in the same room and nothing. There is no quality in the quantity. Like, well, we've been laying in. We've been in. We watched the show together, or we did
Oh,
X, Y.
oh, yes. That one. That one. Okay. Yes, that one right there.
Go for it. Go for it.
No, finish your thought.
Oh,
Finish your
okay. Yeah, yeah. I got distracted when you got excited, so it was. But yeah, it's like
watching
so. It's
TV.
like
Watching the
watching
show.
TV, watch whatever the case is, and it's like, okay, cool, but where's the quality in that? You know, because it's almost like when I was married, like my ex loved shopping, loved shopping. I mean, when I say she loves shopping, I mean to this day, I don't know anybody who can outshop her. Period. Period. Right? Like literally, there was one time we went to we was in a marriage conference weekend. Right? It was when I was in North Carolina. We went to New York. Right? And so all the wives got together and all the husbands got together. And I told the wives, I said, look, I said, I need to prepare you for what this woman here is all about. She can shop. And like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. We left for 4 hours.
Wow.
4 hours. We found each other. All of the other wives were sitting down, had their shoes off, rubbing their feet. They was doing this number right here. And they were like, oh my God, you were right. and my ex was still walking around going through the racks, and I'm like this is what she does, right? So it's like, because I know that's her love language. I hate shopping for no reason, right? Just going to the every single store, every single rack, looking for that
Oh Lord.
one piece of clothing that's on sale for
Yes.
67%, right?
No.
But to her credit, she'll find some good deals now.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm ex-military, so I got bad feet. My ankles are killing me. My knees are on fire. My feet are swelled up about the size of a balloon, and it's like, can I just wait for you in the car, or
I'll
is
come
is
pick you
there
up.
a is there a man cave in the mall here? We can just sit down and all the other husbands and men just get together. Um, but it's like, but that was her love language, right? And so I'm doing what I can to be able to fulfill that for her. But at the same time, we would have conversations, and I'd be like, you know, it's quality time for you because I'm with you in the mall,
Yeah.
but I'm still alone
Yeah.
because I'm not involved. I'm not as interested. So it is a quality time is so important in relationships, and it's like I want to do the things that you enjoy,
Yeah.
but I also want you to feel me as well and be like, you know what, he may not enjoy this as much, so let me curb the time.
Yeah. Or let me go
It's,
by myself.
whatever the case is, it's like, so but the quality time over quantity is so important.
And
Because
Gina
just
said, I'm sorry, go ahead.
go ahead, no, go ahead. What did Gina say?
Gina said, it's important to express your feelings to your mate. My husband is very good at letting me know when I'm not engaged. And she goes, the bench is a man cave.
and you see all the men just sitting there, just you know rubbing their forehead. Not even they're doing this right here, just and they got like three bags just sitting on the floor with them. But we but again, it's the sacrifices that husbands or men make, right? Why? Because it's unfortunately more women love shopping than men. But it's what we do. But at the same time, can if like I love sports, right? I love going to sport. I love watching sports, and my partner may be sitting in the couch with me, not engaged at all with the game, right? And so I'm looking at it like, okay, I'm shutting the TV off. Okay, let's do something. Like I got my little fix in. I got my little fix in, but she's doing her best. She may know nothing about sports, don't know nothing about the rules. We're watching basketball. She's talking about, did he just score a touchdown? And it's like,
That would be me.
not exactly, but you try. You're
I would
trying
say,
though.
I would say goal, and they're like wrong sport, wrong
Wrong.
goal. I'm like wrong sport, wrong sport.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, I'm. She said, I'm laying next to my husband while he watches the game, and that's cool, right? If you don't mind, that's great. So there's an understanding for sure. Hey, I let my husband do his thing while he's watching the game while I'm on the phone. But if you're dating, you know, is it different, right? You know, is it different? Go ahead, ma'am, go ahead.
I want to say something here. I've been holding it right there, like I've been holding it. To me, if once you're married is different. I always say marriage is a whole nother level. But when you're dating, for me to sit with you on the couch for 2 hours, 3 hours, just watching TV is a waste of my time
Mm.
because because this time we could be talking about our intentions. We could be there's so many questions that could be we could be talking about, we could be analyzing. And to me, sitting down and watching 2 or 3 hours, it's such a waste of time. It's such a waste of time because when we're married is different because I already got him and he already
I
got
already
me.
got you. You
I
already in
already
the
got him.
bag.
You already got me. So there's
Lord
there's some grace
Jesus.
there. There's some
Lord
grace there.
Jesus.
But when we're dating, that's the time that we're supposed to be getting to know each other. And to me, sitting down and watching a movie for 2, 3 hours is the lowest form of communication there is.
But what if that's what he enjoys? Like, like an example.
I can
I
I can do it
enjoy,
once or twice. But consistently, no, 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 no. That is the time that we need to be. That we need to be. I mean, we can. I mean, we can go. We can go out and walk. We can go out. We can be cooking together. We can go out walking. We can go out. I mean, collecting rocks for all I care. We
but
can. But why am I going? There is no communication, Ulises. There's no like communication. No, no, no. There's no communication. We're watching a movie and you're looking at one place, I'm looking at another, and we spent 3 hours together, and there was no in exchange of thoughts or anything.
Maria though,
No,
Maria.
no, no,
Maria,
oh
Maria.
Lord.
Something with the West Side Story. Listen, listen.
Maggie said,
But
"Yeah, he ain't going anywhere."
right, and she has a very strong point, and I'm gonna tell you why. If you're willing, right, like if you're feeling this dude to go on a Friday night to watch a 2.5 hour movie or whatever the case is on Netflix, or whatever the case is, do you the fact that you're willing to will attract a man in such a way that he'd be like, yo, like, okay, I
No,
like this one.
no, no, because that's just telling me
Listen,
what marriage with him
listen,
is gonna be like. Nah, that's just telling me what marriage is gonna be like. Nah, I don't think so. I can
what?
do it. No, espérate, espérate. I can do it once. I can do it twice. If he's a good kisser, maybe I can do it 3 times. But if I see a pattern that is his to go,
But listen, you're focused on the 3 hours, and there's like 6 other days of the week that y'all could be having great conversation.
well, yeah, if that's the case, yes. But the way you're presenting it, that's all we're gonna be doing, and I don't think so.
No, no, not
Well,
presented like
you need to clarify.
like every
No, y'all,
like
sorry,
like
y'all. I got excited. I thought he was just. I'm like, no, hombre, no manches, no manches, no se puede, así no se puede. No, ni lo mande Dios. Nah, ni lo mande
nah,
Dios.
forget about it. You know what? Nah.
No, mira, mejor sola, mejor me quedo sola. No, no, no. No, no, no. Si eso es lo único que van a hacer, no. If es lo único que van a hacer, because how the couple the couple that he's like this, and she's like, she turns around, she goes, is that all you do? He goes, no, I go backwards too.
Yeah.
I know. Okay, Maggie said something. Hold on. Do you want to read it?
Maggie says that's why it's good to talk to another their hobby so that you know what you're getting yourself into. Bada boom, bada bing. Like Maggie gets it. She gets it, right, Maria? Because again, it's all about just healthy communication. Say, you know what? I enjoy quality time. I love going to the movies. Like me personally, like I'm a Marvel nerd,
Me too.
right?
Marvel.
Like
Yeah, I agree with
so,
you. But
so
that's not all
I'm
you
a
do, right?
no, it's not all I do, but I promise you, I have seen Iron Man 1 all the way through Endgame about like 3 or 4 times. Like
Me
I
too.
will do a straight up,
Marathon.
back marathon like nobody's business. Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is another one. One, and they're both like 3 hour movies. All six of them are 3 hour movies. The Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit are like all like 3 hours a piece. So it's like, so I can watch these movies and be like I'm like, yo, like you want to watch? Are you a nerd too? Are you willing to I'm going to test your nerd level by offering you, hey, you want to watch this, right? And you're like, then I'm like, you
But
know
as
what? I'm not.
long as that's not all you do, that's all I'm saying. As
Oh, for
long as
sure,
that's okay, okay, good, good. Then
for
we're
sure.
then you're saved. You're saved. You're okay then.
Yeah. No, I mean now if that's all that somebody, but basically they're at that point they're just avoiding conversation at that point.
In the
You know,
middle of that, are you gonna offer snacks? Are you gonna offer her snacks? Are you gonna offer her an intermission of some sort?
are you gonna pay for the popcorn? You pay for the drink for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, okay,
Like,
then that's good. Then we're good. Then we're good. Maggie said, like right now, he's watching a slow movie, very little action. And guess what? I'm outside in the patio watching this podcast. Woohoo,
what movie?
Maggie!
What movie is he watching? That's what I want to know because slow movies are boring. We need some straight action. We don't need no chick flick. We
You
don't
know
need no
what?
Notebook.
Put Ulises, just because of that, she's watching us put Maggie's name in there again. Put her again. She's look at that. She's watching us. She's outside on the porch watching us and sharing with us. I appreciate that, Maggie. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So yeah, that's all I'm saying. And if because I'm a Marvel too, and I like Comic Con and I like all that stuff, and yeah,
Mhm.
and I, hey, she goes, yay, we're gonna put her name again. All right, so yeah, and put Gina. Gina has been commenting too. Look at Gina right there, exactly. Like I am boring, and he is, and we are good. LOL.
Boring is good.
Boring is
That's an
good.
amazing relationship
Yeah,
right there.
but you know
Boring
what?
is good.
Is there a difference between being boring and just being at peace? Because I like I could be boring, but it's just not really boring. It's that I'm at peace.
I mean, the idea of what a boring is, right? Is somebody who stays home, somebody who doesn't go to the club, somebody who doesn't go to the bar, somebody who, it's like, hey, like he's a working man. That's the one with Jason Statham, ain't it? Um,
Oh, he's watching. Yeah, she put it there. He's watching Working Man. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think that's one with Jason Statham. I'm a movie nerd, so so most movies I've if I haven't seen, I've heard about, which so it's just one of them things because I just like watching movies. I grew up on that stuff.
Hey, we
Well,
have
well,
Tati. We have Tati. So you need to put Tati's name in for the drawing. And while Ulises is doing that, I just want to remind you that you have to stay till the end because at the end, Ulises is going to draw three
explain
names, three
ex,
names, three winners. Annette in silence. Oh, we have a lot
explain
coming.
everything.
Okay, I'll explain. Well, first of all, Gina said we are at peace and content. That's awesome. Annette says, yes, it's good if you can comfortably sit together also. Oh, watching movies together, cuddle up. That's cool.
Just
You know, I can. Oh, no, that's
oh no, no.
no, not like that. That's a problem. Okay, and then this is in silence. Oh, awesome. So go ahead and add Annette again. Go ahead and add Gina because they're continue, and go ahead and add Tati. Make sure you got them all in there twice because they're commenting. They're bringing it. So while we're doing that, and we still have three more. So I want to let you know that we are going to do a giveaway at the end, and Ulises is going to draw three names, and Ulises is going to do it because he's in Florida, and you can't blame me. He's going to select y'all, so because a lot of you I know personally, so I don't want to, say that I had favorites. Look, there's a little bag right there. Shake it, shake it. So, and the prices are as following. If you're a winner, you get to choose. Let me look here. You get to choose one of the ebooks that I wrote. I will send you one of the ebooks, and these are some of them. How to start your own podcast. That's available. 10 ways to empower your cancer journey in English and Spanish. If you want to give it away to someone, a checklist for when you're going live. That's an awesome right there. And agradecimientos in English and Spanish. It's some daily thoughts and reading and prayers for Thanksgiving. And this one is one good one that a lot of people ask me about, breaking free from soul ties in Spanish in English as well. And I have like three or more that are on my link. So if you look at the link, so you can, I will send you one of those. Or you can also have Ulises' book. You want to show your book, Ulises? He wrote an amazing
Yes.
book. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, the book is called "Enjoy the Process," and really, it's a book that is pertaining to my experiences with God, um, about really the process of becoming who you are, what your identity is in Christ, and being able to to truly enjoy, like like one of the chapters that I have really is about, based on James chapter 1, was like, hey, count it all joy when you go through various trials and tribulations. And it's like, man, like, how can I be joyful when I'm going through a trial and tribulation? And so what it's really all about is understanding that God's intent when you go through trial and tribulation is not to take away, but it's to give you something.
Amen.
And so your joy, your peace, that letting peace have its perfect work, that you will be lacking in nothing, is what James says. Letting patience have its perfect work, that you'll be lacking in nothing. So God's purpose is not to take away, but it's to give. And so it's through this process of learning how to enjoy the process to becoming everything that God has
Amen.
designed for you to be, and to accomplish the ministry that what he's even called you to. So
Amen.
that's what the book is all about.
And we also have, you can also choose a coaching call for about an hour with me. You can have, we can talk about, if it's with me, we can talk about social media. We can talk about personal growth, different things. And if it's with Ulises, you can talk about personal growth, dating, coaching, just different things. We have a lot of ministry experience that you can tap into if you'd like. So it could be a coaching call with Ulises or me or both of us, however you choose. And lastly, dinner. Now listen, this is a good one. This is what you can choose whichever of those. If you're a winner, you can choose, and it would be a Zoom dinner with Ulises and I, and we will pay for your takeout or for your dinner. And we will put a specific time. We'll log in on Zoom, and the three of us will have dinner. We will talk for about an hour with whatever you'd like to talk about. And then we'll just share that moment. And so that'll be dinner with us. So let me repeat that: ebook, Ulises' book, coaching calls with me or Ulises or the both of us, and dinner. So that's 4 giveaways. So if we're only going to select 3 winners, so you have to stay at the end. So if at the end he pulls your name, you have to be online to say, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. And then, so make sure that you are following us also on YouTube. So Maggie says, that sounds amazing. And Jean
Yeah.
says, amen, love this. Oh,
And just real quick, just for a shameless plug, it's also on Amazon, on the online bookstore. So if you go to Amazon and search for my name, Ulises Vargas, Ulises Vargas, you'll be able to find it on Amazon as well. So
all right, so let's go on to the next one. We have acts of love. Thank you so much for still sticking around. We have a couple more, and it's going to be interesting. So make sure you like, you share, you enjoy this. Just a reminder, this podcast stays on Facebook for about 30 days, but you can always find it on YouTube, and we'll put the link on that. So acts of service. Take it away, Mr. Vargas.
acts of service. This is one of my top ones for me personally. Um, acts of service is thank you, Gianna. I appreciate that. Um, but acts of service to me is one of my top love languages outside of words of affirmation. Because I'm a big believer that you know, it's effort means everything to me. So it's one thing to say that I love you, but it's another thing to show that I love you. And acts of service to me is not about being obligated to do something because that's my wife or that's my husband or that's my boo thing, but I'm doing these things because I love. And so and so for me, it's super super important, that if love is not just a noun, but if it's an action word, then how important is it for somebody who one of their love languages is acts of service, to be able to, hey, I see it. It's equivalent to, see a need, fill a need, right? Like, there are certain things that I don't have to ask you, hey, do you want me to X, Y, and Z? I'm just going to do it because I see the need. Now, there's a difference between needing and wanting. And if I don't know if I can't even differentiate my need from a want, then I'm never going to be satisfied with what anybody does for me, right? So we run into that aspect. Hey, this is what I need. I need somebody to fill this need, and then once I see that, it's like, oh man, this is amazing, right? But wanting a want will always change. I may want cheesecake. I may want some delicious cheesecake, some homemade cheesecake
All right, stop throwing in there. Stop throwing the hints. We all know you love cheesecake. I already told you.
today.
I already told you. Next time you come to the pasta, I'll get you cheesecake. I forgot the last time. Okay, you need
I
healing.
mean,
Moving
I
on.
mean,
I forgot the
I'm,
last time, y'all. Moving right.
I'm
He
not
had
gonna
to throw it
cry.
in there. He had to throw it in there, dude. Yeah.
I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry.
Oh, you need to put Melissa Ramirez. You need to put Melissa. She commented. Now we're talking.
Now we're talking. So
Pastor Melissa. Woohoo.
I may want something today, but it may change tomorrow. So if I don't know my difference of need and want, I'm never going to be satisfied with anything that you do. You can do, well, hey, Ulises, but you said X, Y, and Z. Yeah, but, yeah, but. So if you are dealing with somebody who truly truly doesn't know what they want, they're
Yeah.
never going to be satisfied with what you give them.
And that's not then that and then that's not that wouldn't that's the understanding that it wouldn't be on you. Like if a person doesn't know who they are or what they want, then it's hard to fulfill that need. So then you're just spinning and I don't feel loved. I'm like, well, you don't know who you are. Let's start there. What is it that you like? What is it that you don't like? And for me, acts of service is probably the second one. I mean, anything that people do to make my life easier, oh my God. And that's one thing that I appreciate about the people that I work with. I have the privilege, and some of them are here with, in the live and listening to us. And I want to thank Pastor Melissa. I want to thank, everybody that I work with. I'm working with some amazing people, and there's times that I drop the ball and they come behind me and they just pick up and make my life easier. And they'll do
Mhm.
things to help my load, and then they'll just help me figure things out, and they'll push me to do that. And you know what, Maria, I know you forgot this. I know that you had to leave because of an emergency. I did that for you, and I'm like, oh,
Wow.
and it is like one time. This is how much I like to acts of service, because and this is transparent. If you know me, I try to be as transparent as possible until a certain limit. But here you go. Don't judge me. Don't judge me, y'all. I'm telling you right now. I bought the some hubcaps. That's the little round things that go on top of the wheel, right? Hubcaps. That's what it's called. Well, because when I go to Juarez, I tend to lose them. You know, so there's a whole story. So I tend to lose them when I go to Juarez because they have potholes and they have situations. So I lose them, right? So I did not have time to put them on. First of all, I'm a woman. I don't care to put them on. I could, whatever. And Annette laughs because she knows, they know. And she laughs because she knows exactly what I'm talking about. So I was like, ay, yo no quiero. I got my nails did and stuff. And
Oh,
and
bougie,
I don't want, it's like,
bougie.
It wasn't, but I know that they needed to be put out. Even my pastor said, "What is going on with your car? That the hubcaps, it doesn't have, the those things on." And I'm like, "Oh, I just don't. I just, it's the whole thing. I just don't want to put them there. It's a box. It's in the back. It's been there for about a week." Oh my god! So Bridget, my coworker, she talked to one of the men there that works with us, and she talked to Shelby, and he put them on for me.
Oh wow.
And she went and grabbed my keys without saying anything. She went and grabbed my keys, and then she gave them to Shelby. Shelby put them on. Took him 10 minutes, because that's not a big deal. He put them, boom, boom, boom. All he laughed at me because some of them I put zip ties on it because I can lose them. That's a whole other story. He put them
I'm
on.
looking forward to hearing that.
Yeah, the zip ties. Yeah, yeah.
Zip
You need to
tie
talk
and
to
the
Sylvia about that.
hubcaps.
Well, because they put the zip ties because they keep falling when I go to Juarez. So when I go and I see that they're on, I started crying because such a simple act of service made my life easier. I felt like a little load, boom, off my shoulder. One less thing that I have to worry about. And I just cried. And I don't know. I was emotional. I cried. And I was so yeah. So if you've ever been to Juarez, you know what I'm talking about. So acts of service. So I understand, Ulises. That's why I understand your passion when you talk about serving your wife or serving your loved one. I get it now because acts of service is very important to you. So, and it takes you to be selfless and put somebody's needs first ahead of you and serve. And that's an amazing thing because acts of service is saying, you know what? I am going to do something to make your life easier. I see that. Like, what was it that you said? You see a need,
Fill a
you
need.
feel a need. That that's acts of service. So, what would be the opposite of that?
Woo. I,
Neglect, and laziness.
I mean, dealing with neglect, because it's to me it's you see something and you refuse to do it, right? Like, if the dishes need to be washed and you know your wife is completely exhausted, why can't you do it? Right? So it's like, oh, we both work, we do. Like, there's many justifications, many reasons, many excuses. But it's like, if you see a need, like, can you take that 10, 15 minutes to do something about it? If you know your husband works outside all day and he comes home drenched, exhausted, like, is it hard to take the trash out? Because that's a man's duty, right? You know, you know, and that's a whole other
Because it's gross. Trash
conversation
is
for a
gross.
whole
Trash is gross.
for a whole other time. But if you see a need, can you fill that need and not feel obligated, or not hold it over that person's head that you did it, right? Because the acts of service has nothing to do with, hey, you owe me.
Yeah.
You owe me. Like, imagine if that's what Jesus did. Oh, Ulises, you owe me big time.
Yeah.
Like, yo, like, I'm forever in his debt already.
Man.
So it's like, if there is a need, man, my feet hurt. Am I willing to rub some feet? Am I willing to rub shoulders, or whatever the case is, to be that example of what a humble servant leader will look like?
Amen.
And I love what Jana said earlier, like, hey, like, watching you struggle, like you got people that are looking at their loved one, their wife, their husband, watching them struggle, and just sit on that couch,
Wow.
sit on that couch, or just go to the room and shut that door.
Yeah.
because they don't want to deal with it. It's a level of selfishness that needs to be worked out. It's got to be worked out.
And this is where communication is really important because you need to tell, I feel that you need to tell your partner what your needs are. And sometimes, you can't um expect them to know everything. If you've been married a long time, it's different. But as you're growing and maturing, and also I want to point out that sometimes your needs will vary. That's also, even though, for example, if quality time could be my preference, let's say that I just got a call and somebody died, right? At that time, it's not quality time. I might need a hug. There might be a physical touch. So sometimes your needs change as you grow as a situation. I mean, you'll revert back to what you really are, but you also have to be very sensitive, and know your partner that sometimes, there might be a need. It might be an extra service, like you said.
Yeah.
Maggie has a comment for you.
She said, "Well, why don't you cut his nails, Maggie? Why don't you humble yourself, wash your hands, grab the nail cutters, and be like, babe, I'm gonna take care of you tonight because I like physical touch at night, and when I'm touching your feet, I don't want to get cut. You know, it's
You know
it might
what
be a
you
little selfish motive in there, but hey,
you
humble yourself, Maggie. Humble yourself and cut his
Oh
nails
my
while
god.
he watches a boring movie. Like it's just one of them things.
She said I do. LOL, I do, I do, I do. Well, let's jump into that. That's a good segue. Let's jump into the physical touch. Physical touch. And this is one thing that I want to go before I let you go into that one, is that most women think that men's favorite act of love language is physical touch because they associate it with sexy time, right?
Hmm.
So that's why I call it sexy time. So we, us women, sometimes think that all men, their favorite is physical touch, but no, because it's different. Sexy time, liking sexy time, is different from physical touch because most men love sexy time, but physical touch is more than that. So if I were to ask you, okay, Ulises, if you get a phone call and you're on the phone and you're just talking and your partner comes and just rubs shoulder, right here and kind of does this, you're like, oh, you know, do you like that? That would be physical touch. If you're out in public and she holds your hands or she comes and say, hey, it's time to leave, and she touches you really sweet, hey babe, it's time to leave, can we go? That's physical. Do you like that? Or when you're in public and she comes behind you and hugs you, hey babe, I'm here. Or do you like that? So that's the physical touch is different from sexy time because we know y'all like sexy time all the time, but I'm talking about physical. It's different, like holding hands, or when your partner rubs your beard or they hold your face or they hug on you or they just rub your hand or they just, or when you're sleeping and you kind of put your patitas together, and stuff. So that kind of thing. So Gina says, yes, definitely more than that. Don't just touch me.
It's real
Gina,
talk. That's
okay.
real. It's real
Put
conversation.
put Gina in. Put her name again in the drawing. That comment deserves her name put in the drawing again. That Gina, put Gina's name again in there. That's awesome. That's
Yes,
awesome.
ma'am. Yes,
She
ma'am.
said, yes, definitely more than that. Don't just touch me when it's sexy time. I know. So my question is, what is your love language? If it's what physical touch, what is it for you, Ulises? What is the opposite?
The opposite of physical touch is, um, man, like I'm trying to figure out how the best way to say this
Withdrawal
because
and being cold. Just being cold. Withdraw and being cold. Like for me, if physical touch is important to me and I go and hug you, you're like, oh no, 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 don't, don't hug me. No, don't hug me. Or I'm trying to hold your hand in public and you're like, no, don't hold my hand. Or like, you're always on top of me, girl. Sit over there. Just get your popcorn over there. That kind of thing. Or like, why are you always up on me? Just why you always kissing me and hugging me? I know. Or let me cook. Why that coldness. Ooh, if physical touch is your thing and your partner is very cold, that
Yeah,
you're in trouble.
because physical touch has to do with I mean, outside of sexy time, right? As we talked about, physical touch deals with, hey, my partner is showing me that number one, they're not embarrassed to be around me, right? Like they're not embarrassed to be affectionate, because it's really like physical touch has a lot to do with how affectionate your partner is. Like PDA, public display of affection. Okay, like I don't need you to be giving me a hickey while we at the drive-through of Whataburger, right? But but hey, it's like, hey, like, you know like me, like I'm big on physical touch. Like I'm going to hold your hand. I'm going to open the door for you. Like I'm going, because physical touch to me, yes, it's physical, but to me it's more mental than it is physical,
Oh,
because
oh wait, I'm confused. What?
physical touch is
I'm
physical.
sorry, you lost me. I'm like, what? Explica despacio.
Right. So physical touch is important, right? But it has everything to do with how you feel when he touches you.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm back. I'm back.
Everything how she feels when you touch when he touches you.
Okay,
So
okay.
so the physical is the mental and the physical have to be united, have to be one, right? Because how many times have you been in a situation where there's somebody that you didn't want to touch you is trying to hug you at church? You're like, ugh. You kind of get that, ugh, like you're trying to be respectful, but you got that, ugh, look, your lip curls, you're like, ugh, you're trying hard to try to keep your composure the whole nine. So it's like the mental and the physical have to be aligned in order for me to feel amazing or feel great or feel safe or feel in love. Like my mental has to be in line with the physical. So
Okay.
when my girl holds my hand, I feel something. When she reaches out to me, I feel something.
I
Or
get it.
if your man reaches out to you, what your husband, whatever the case is, like you feel something because the mental and the physical are aligned. That's why, like, especially in marriages, when 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 you're mad at your spouse, don't touch me, don't, no toques, right?
Yeah,
Don't
no
touch
toques,
me,
no toche.
no, no tashi, no tashi. You ain't getting none of this until we fix this. Until we
Yeah, yeah.
fix
That's
this,
manipulation. That's manipulation.
for sure, it is. But it's also, like, hey, like, can we fix this before we, like the makeup sexy time is
Yeah,
great for
yeah.
sure, but let's make up, right? So
Hmm.
but that's why the mental and that's why physical
Yeah.
touch is so important when it comes to how my mindset is.
And how your body reacts, like when
Oh
the
man.
oxytocin that your body, the release of stress, like when somebody hugs you for a few seconds, they hug you, it starts producing this chemical reaction and you just calm down and it relaxes you. Like if somebody hugs you, you're like, and then after a while, if it's the person you love, it can, calms me down. Like if I'm stressed, sometimes I'm really stressed, and again, I'm so blessed with the people that I work with. And I want to give Gina a shout out because she gives good hugs. She gives good hugs. Gina, just so you know, where she goes, yes, we can't use our body as a weapon. But Gina,
Preach it.
yes,
Preach it. Oh,
hey.
I'm sorry. I forgot
Maggie says
where I
I'm
was at.
very affectionate, and Gina said clarification. This was my ex, not my husband. Her current husband is very very affectionate, but just so you know, Gina is. I mean, I have people that in my life, because physical touch is really important to me, and sometimes I'm really stressed and they'll come and give me a hug and it just
Just go
calms
away.
down the beast,
Yeah.
calms down the beast, Calm down the beast. So I wanted to interact real quick that one of the important things is communication. And it's really, and this is something that Dr. Gary Chapman, I've heard him say in an interview, and even he mentions it in the book, that with your partner and the person you love, you need to ask these questions. Number one, what can I do to help you? Number two, how can I make your life easier? Number three, how can I be a better wife or better husband? So you
Mm.
continually need to be asking those questions because the needs might change. So you ask the question this week. Ask your friend, because we're talking about relationship, but you can ask that to your friend. You can ask that to your friends, your husband, your wife, people that are important in your life. And oh, Gina puts, "Aw." And Melissa too. Melissa gives good hugs. She just has to be hearing from God. Melissa is not a hugger, but one time I remember, Melissa, I'm gonna tell on you. Sorry. One time I remember I was going through it. Ulises, I was going through it. I was going through it. Woo! I was going through it. I can tell you.
Mhm.
And Melissa, I can feel the Lord told her something, and she went to the kids. And I remember her, she turning around. She didn't say nothing, and she came and hugged me. When she hugged me, I felt the load that I was carrying just shatter. And I started crying, and she let me cry. And I'm an ugly crier. She let me cry. She let me cry. And that was it.
Messed up her shirt. You messed up her
Yes, I do the ugly cry because I get into it. That's it.
shirt.
If I want to do it, if I want to embarrass myself, I'm gonna embarrass myself with gusto.
And it's the whole Pentecostal cry.
Yeah, look, Gina says
Hallelujah.
Melissa does. Melissa does. Melissa does give.
Hallelujah.
Saying Gina agrees with me, but Gina gives good hugs. Bridget, Annette. I'm blessed with work. But a lot of good people that God has used in that way. So Maggie says, "How can I serve you better?" So
Yeah,
if I were to ask you, Ulises, what can I do this week to help you as a friend?
that's love.
That's love right there. If
You
I ask you, Ulises, how can I make your life easier this week? I don't know about next week, but at least this week, In other words, by the end of midnight, because today, today's Friday, you know, how can I be a better friend, Ulises, to you? How can I show up better and stuff? So,
cheesecake, cheesecake.
well, I don't know how I'm gonna get cheesecake to you, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Y'all need to help me how to get Ulises some cheesecake. So
No, but
go ahead, go ahead, go
it's
ahead.
no, it's good because especially when you're in a relationship, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the case is, like it's always good to do a checkup. Hey, how can, as Maggie said, how can I serve you better? Is there anything that I'm doing that you don't like? Like those are healthy conversations to have. It's super important because it's like, and if being in a relationship is not going to be easy, right?
No.
Because here you got two people trying to love on each other. You got life, you got job, you got kids,
Mm,
you got family, you got all these things that are trying to separate you. So to be intentional about sticking together, holding it together, is you have to have that healthy conversation, that healthy communication. It's like, what am I doing? And again, it goes back to humility. What can I do to be better? What can I, and that's amazing, Maggie. That is amazing, because what can I do to be better for you? And if your spouse says, no, we good, then praise God,
amen.
right? Amen. But hey, this week I felt like X, Y, and that's also like the hard part, right? Is when the person that you love is telling you something that you kind of fell short on. We respond either with pride, like, oh, or if you're saying this, well, then you did,
Yeah. Yeah,
or
that don't help nobody.
it doesn't help nobody because you're basically having two shovels and you're digging each other a hole that
Yeah.
now it's too deep that nobody can get out of.
My question is,
Oh,
do you want to win an argument or do you want to solve a problem?
well, I'm 97.4% of the time
Oh
right.
God,
You
no!
know,
Don't start that again. No.
joking, kidding, not kidding, people.
Yeah.
I'm 97.4% of the time right, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I'm very selective on the arguments that I or the ground that I'm willing to take. So like I ain't got no issues admitting when I'm wrong. Don't get it twisted now.
Right. Right.
If I'm wrong, I will apologize.
Good for you.
I will
Yay.
apologize. I'm humble enough to know that Jesus, man, like
Amen.
I need a lot of Jesus in my life too.
Amen.
But when I'm sure about something, I will die on that hill, people.
Oh my Lord.
I'm
That
I'm I'm so I am I'm stubborn. I am stubborn for sure.
So going on to the next one and the final one, I think we've covered them all except the last one, receiving gifts. And this is a really good one for those of you who enjoy, and this is different because remember, some people this is their love language, this is how they receive love, this is how they feel love, and a lot of people, there's also the way they show love. And so that's really where the communication is important, because if he speaks one language and you speak another one, there's going to be room for interpretation, and it's going to be in your love is going to be lost in translation. So make sure you communicate what each other like. And if you don't know what you like, that means you're not doing enough of any of them, really. If you don't
Mhm.
know what you like, you're not receiving enough to know the difference between each of them, because you need to try them all and figure out which one is yours. So if you're not knowing what you like, then let's start there. What is it that makes you happy, that fills your time, your, let me say, your tank? That's what I wanted to say. So receiving gift, what is the opposite of that? Would be forgetfulness and carelessness. I went to the store and you knew I was hungry, you didn't give me a cup of coffee. It's not, because remember, it's not the amount of the gift, is the thought behind the gift. Because
Yeah.
I remember this lady at church. She was the sweetest. She would give you a little piece of candy with a little note in a verse. And that, I mean, what's a piece of candy? Is it like a mint, like it from the Dollar Tree? But she would write a little note in a verse. That meant the world to me. That was like, wow. Or Bridget is really good. She's amazing. Like, if anybody out there needs somebody to show you how to receive, I mean, how to do gifting, Bridget is your girl. I'm doing a shameless plug, because she is amazing, because she is so thoughtful of the way she gifts. I mean, she pays attention to the color. She pays attention to the exact brand. She pays it is amazing. I've learned from her, because I usually just, oh yeah, that looks good here. And no, she's taught me. She's taught me.
That's
So what
awesome.
is your idea?
My idea, Maggie says she loves flowers. She'll and her husband to prep her coffee before. Hey, that's
But that's not a gift. That prepping coffee before church, that would be an act of service, right?
acts of service. Acts of service. But when it comes for me when it comes to gifts, it's like the opposite of that for me would be and you said it like forgiveness, like right, or for me it's the excuse of, well, I don't know what to get you, right? There's a certain level of laziness, a certain level of, hey, today was an anniversary, I didn't, oh man, I forgot, or we can tell when it's a last minute gift, like here, you know, like
That's
it's
awful.
like like thanks, or they buy you a gift but it serves them,
Oh yeah.
like it's like, oh, here's a riding lawnmower, uh okay, or here's a nice set of pots and pans for you.
Oh no. Uh-uh.
So it's just, so the receiving gifts, and I can't speak for all men, but I can speak for men that that hey, like it's sometimes it's hard for us to receive gifts, you know, because some, I you know, dealing with my certain relationships that I've had, like the lack of the lack of receiving gifts was major, right? It's like so whenever somebody gives me something, it's like, oh man, like, what did did I do something to deserve that gift? Like, oh, did I really deserve that gift? Did I really earn that gift? Or, oh, you could have saved that money and put and spent it somewhere. So it's a level of, the things that I had to work through was a feeling unworthy of receiving. So it's like, it's the receiving of gifts is harder for some men than it is for others. But we're quick to give. We're quick to give gifts, like, oh, like I'm very attentive. I pay attention to what you need, to what you want, and I'm quick to be like, oh, here you go.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, oh, you were paying attention. But it's
Yeah.
like, but for me to receive is harder because I'm a man, and the man is not really supposed to receive gifts. We're supposed to be the provider. We're supposed to
But
be,
but wait, but what if your love language is not gifting? What if your love language is, then it's okay. If you're.
and it's, and you're right, right? You're right in, but it's also the experiences that the person may have, and not just men that go through it, but there's women that go through it too,
Yeah.
right? They're with husbands or ex-husbands that didn't gift them enough. They forgot the the Valentines, they forgot the birthdays, or it was very last minute gifts, like, oh, here's a a white gold chain, when the wife has expressed to him that she loves gold, you know or you give somebody a gift,
I got a
and they
crock pot
you
for
got a
cooking.
crock pot
I got and a vaporizer.
wow, because somebody knew that you had sinus issues, and had the
There was,
flu.
I
I,
it was like there is no way. That was my ex husband. That was no way. At that time, there is no way,
I
Ulises.
can't, I can't hold up. Uh,
That was my ex
yeah,
husband. Crock pot
no, no, I've
for vaporizer.
I've been told, when I was married, I was told I didn't get you anything because I don't know what you want.
Then you didn't ask. Why ask again?
Well, but it's one of those situations where
How did you feel when they said that?
I felt like, okay, well, you obviously are not paying attention to me, because again, like, I may not know what I want per se, but like, I do have certain things that I enjoy, and if you paid attention, you will know that. I may enjoy this. Like, for me, it's like, I'm not big on gifts per se, right? But I love experiences.
Amen.
I talk about traveling. I
Yes.
talk about, going over here. Let's do this. Oh, you know what I want to do? So it's like, if you paid attention, and instead of saying, "Hey, I don't know what you want, so I didn't get you anything," like, "Hey, I got us a hotel at the beach for a."
A tour or something, or wine tasting, a cooking class. I just went to a cooking class. I'll tell you all about it later. That's a nice experience.
Is that the one with crickets?
Yes,
You
that's the
cook some
one. I did
crickets?
not eat the crickets. I didn't eat the crickets. I took a picture of. Oh, Lisa, before we go, we're gonna go ahead and in time. We are before we let everybody go. We are at that time already. Did you put Tati Rodriguez in there? She said hi. I want to make sure we did
I
include her there.
did.
You
I
did?
got it. I
Awesome,
got it right.
awesome. I don't know if she's still on here with us, but if she is, I just want to make sure that she's in there included as well. Okay, awesome.
There was a comment that Jenna put on there. If you don't mind putting that, where you have been abused and then you get gifts, and I get
Uh,
worried about the why or the what you are going to do next.
could you?
That
Oh,
is
that one.
very powerful. That is very, very powerful because it's a form of manipulation.
Oh, that's
They
the system here. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Tati's here. Woo, woo. So, but it is a form of manipulation that you've been manipulated, deceived, whatever the case is, and like they buy you stuff to get back into good graces.
I'm
But
sorry. That works for me sometimes.
Father, in Jesus' name, we pray for Maria
That
right
works
now.
sometimes. That works sometimes. Seriously. Don't knock
It,
it off. I know it's manipulation, but sometimes it works. I might be mad at you, but you show up with a nice bracelet. Yeah, I want to say, yeah, it works. Like in the past, if I'm really mad at that, you did this, you forgot
but
this, you didn't,
but that's a
but I'm being honest because
no,
I'm being honest because you forgot to throw the trash. It smells and it smells like fish, and it smells awful. And I'm mad
but
at you.
that's different. That's
But
different,
you
right?
buy me,
Because
you buy me something nice. I want to come around. I want
now,
to come around and take the time.
but that's different though, right? Like if I did something to make you mad,
Oh my God,
that's one
Jesus
thing.
pray with you.
Yes, Gianna. So like it's one thing if I make my partner mad. So I'm gonna be like, you know what? Like I'm gonna have to make this up. That's different than what Jana said. Hey, you're purposely being abused. Like
Gina.
they're using the gifts as forms of trying to get back into your good graces, not apologizing for what they actually did, but using it as a means to get back into your good graces. And so it's like it's a thin line, and it doesn't work for sure. I'm not faulting you. I'm praying for you for sure, but I'm not faulting the thought process because
Mhm.
it does work.
Doesn't
It
work. It
can
doesn't
work for
work.
sure, but
I'm mad at you,
the
and you come and give me a good. I'm mad at you, but you give me a massage right here, and I deep tissue massage. I'm like, oh, okay, forgive me.
I forgive you. I forgive you, babe. Right there, right there, right there. You know, but it's different though, right? So it's like, but the whole point of it is the motive behind what you're doing, why you are doing it, the motive behind it. If the motive is pure, then cool. But if it's not pure, then that's abuse.
And
So that's
manipulation.
manipulation, without a doubt.
All right, Ulises. So it is that time. It is that time. Ooh, we're gonna pick. Let me review I'm sorry, the four gifts. So if you are here, make sure if he mentions your name, just say I'm here in the comments, and we know for sure you have to be present. We said all the way to the end, and thank you for sticking with us. It's been a good conversation. So, number one, an ebook, and we have several of them. We have a long list. You can choose one of these ebooks. Amazing. Number two, Ulises' book. Number three, a coaching call with me, with Ulises, or both of us, so we can talk about a couple of subjects that we know. Um, Also, dinner with us, the number four, dinner with us, me and Ulises. We will pay for your takeout or your dinner, and we'll have dinner over Zoom and talk, and we'll go from there. So when he tells your name, make sure you type in the comments, I'm here. And if you want to, let me know which one you want, and then we'll go ahead and get you set up. So we're doing this. So yeah, you ready? You ready? I don't have a drum roll or anything, Ulises.
I know.
I don't have a. I don't know. I have. Ding, 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 ding. Okay,
All
go.
right. The first name we have is Maggie.
Maggie! Woo! Maggie. So which Maggie? Is she here? Did we lose her already? Maggie.
Is
Okay, we got
Matt.
Maggie. All right. Who else? Who else? Who else?
All right. The next we have
Woo!
on the
Let's
list.
write that down. Maggie.
Maggie's the
Okay, go
first
ahead.
one. Who we have next is
Take that. Oh, Gina.
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 Yeah,
Woo!
and Maggie is here.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Maggie said, "Yay! She's here. She's here. Woohoo! Awesome, awesome." And the last one. The last one.
And the last but not the least.
Oh my God! Let me see the bag. I want to make sure you see the bag. We can't see the bag.
Okay.
Gina's here. Gina's here. She said, "Yay!"
Tati.
Woo! Tati! Woohoo! Okay. Woohoo! One more. Let's do one more. Let's do a bonus one. One more. One more. Let's do one more. Let's do
Let's
one more.
do one more.
Let's do a bonus one.
Let's do a bonus one, people.
Yay!
And Annette.
Woo! Woohoo! Annette. Is Annette here? Is Annette here? Annette. Woo! Annette. Is Annette here? Make sure. Come on, Annette. Mm-mm. Okay, I love dinner with y'all. Okay, so Maggie, we're gonna put Maggie wants dinner. Awesome, awesome. Woohoo! Okay, so Gina, does Gina? Annette, she says, I'm here. Woohoo!
Good.
Woohoo! So put in the comments. Tell me what is it that you guys would like so we can square it away. Gina, Tati, and Annette. Tell me what you guys want. So we got the ebook, we got Ulises' book. Gina goes, whoop, whoop. Annette goes, yes, but you're not telling me what you want, y'all. You're excited. You're excited, but I don't know. You want the book? Do you want the dinner? Do you want the coaching call? What is it you want, girls? Maggie said dinner with us.
And if anybody else wants dinner too, that's perfectly fine.
Yes, we're gonna be eating good. Gina, they want dinner with us, Ulises. They don't know what they're in for. Gina wants dinner too. Oh, okay. Tati goes, I want the Soul Ties ebook. You got it. So Tati, in a personal message, send me your email. I will get that to you tonight. And let me know if you want it in English or in Spanish. Okay. Entonces, okay. And Maggie says, let's all have dinner. We could. We actually could. But we're gonna stay to our word and do the prize winners individually because we're not rich. We don't have podcast sponsor money yet. Once we have sponsor money, then
Yeah.
you get a dinner, you get a dinner, everybody get a dinner.
I got Little Caesars dinner, $5, $6 box.
Okay. Gina says a group dinner. Do y'all want that? Do y'all no? Do you want okay? Tati said English, please. I will get you that. Send me your email, Tati, your personal email or whatever email you want me to send it to. You'll get that tonight. And Gina says, okay. So what Ulises, they want
You want Little Caesars dinner? Y'all want Little Caesars dinner?
No. But I mean a group dinner.
Oh, group dinner. Oh, yeah. Maggie said she'll take tacos.
She'll take tacos. Yeah, we'll figure the details. Taco Bell's good, but no. But I still need Annette. Annette didn't say what she needs. So Maggie, we got dinner. Gina, we got dinner. Tati, an ebook, and Annette. What does Annette want? Annette, what do you want? What would you like?
Yes, and I love Taco Bell too, Gina. I love Taco Bell. It's Whoa, 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 whoa.
We'll get Taco
Calm
Bell.
the
Okay,
calm the attitude. Calm
uh,
the
all
attitude.
right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Annette says, I want my special day. Oh, she wants dinner. Right? That's what it means. Annette, that's what you want, right? A special day? She means dinner with us by ourselves?
Yeah,
With
I
her?
think that's what it means.
Okay, awesome. All right. So, yes, my comments not coming through, but it's okay. We got them. We got them. We got them. They're coming through. They're coming a little delayed, but it's good. But we got them. We got them, Annette. Okay, so everyone, thank you so much. We have the winners. We have Maggie, Gina, Tati, Annette. We already know dinner, ebook, and dinner. So thank you so much for joining. Any last words before we let this amazing people? Thank you so much for spending the time with us. And Priscilla, she goes, "Oh my God, hello! What did I miss,
You
Priscilla?
missed
Oh my
everything. You missed
God,
everything. Oh
goodness, you
my
need to
god.
replay, girl. It was you, Priscilla. Listen to what I'm telling you, baby girl, baby girl, baby girl, baby girl, baby girl, sweet baby girl. You need to watch this podcast from the beginning because this is something that you're gonna need with your new little family that you are putting together. That's coming together with your new little family. This podcast is really a good one. And we had some prizes and we already picked the winners. So but we'll catch you next time. So next week we'll figure out, Ulises, if there is money left over. We'll do it next we'll do it next week. So we'll do some more prizes.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
we will. Okay.
Yeah. And Maggie says, not Taco Bell, sis. LOL. It gives me the run. Right? Thank you, Maggie. That's what I was saying. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you, Maggie.
Pepto Bismol. Pepto Bismol,
No,
kids.
no, no.
Pepto
We gotta
Bismol.
do better, people. We gotta do better. But we'll figure it out because the last word, the winner has the last word. So if the winner wants Taco Bell, we're gonna do Taco Bell. All right. So so thank you so much, everyone, for being here, being with us, and so thank you so much. And we will see you next time next week, where we're gonna be talking about is a very heavy subject. Is it the one that we talked about? The
About divorce.
divorce, yeah.
Divorce. The D
That's a heavy
word.
one. That's if you want to know, we're gonna go deep into that one. So there's gonna be healing in the name of Jesus. All right, everyone, thank you so much, and we will see you next time.